Hey guys, I just want to show you this very simple tenant management system using Python. It's just a console based program. It's just nice for understanding some Python concepts. I have the first file. I only have 3 files. This is the project structure here. Tenant management system. I have these 3 files: the tenant management.py, the tenant.py, and the database.py. So this is basically just a file that I'm using to mimic a database. Okay, just simulate the database. Okay, so I have the tenant.py created a class tenant and defined a constructor, then I created this parameters: tenant ID, name, age, contact, property address, and the rent amount. Okay, so you can see I have the save.tenant ID, save.name, save.age, save.contact, save.property address, save rent amount, and of course I initialized the payment status to false. Okay, so the payment status, we show this to false. By default is false. Okay, then I defined various functions. The first function is to mark payment as paid or not paid. So def mark payment, self with payment status true. So this and then I have defined another function to reset the payment status. So self with payment status false. Then I defined this string object for representation of the tenant for easy viewing. So payment status paid, if self.payment status else unpaid. Then I return in formatted string of this. The ID with the tenant.id, name will be name, age with the age, the contact with the contact, the property address with the property address. Okay, so that's all about this file, the tenant.py file. So let's look at this database. So this is the database, just a simulation file to mimic a database. So it's not an actual database. It's just a file to exhibit or demonstrate some database functionality. Okay, so again I created a class. Okay, I used an OOP approach because obviously that's the easiest, and the OOP structure is somehow very easy to do any follow-up, like debugging etc. Okay, so I have the class database, then the constructor here. Under the constructor I initialize, or I created an empty. This is an empty, like an empty dictionary. This one is like an empty dictionary. Okay, then I created a function to add tenant. So this is a function to add tenant to the database. Okay, So I'm passing the parameter tenant. So if tenant the tenant ID, so checking if the tenant is already in the dictionary. Okay, so if tenant inside tenant print tenant with this ID already exists, else add this tenant. Okay, tenant equal to tenant. So you add this tenant to the dictionary. Okay, then I created a function to remove a tenant. Again, I remove a tenant based on the tenant ID. Okay, so I'm passing the ID tenant ID parameter to this function. Okay, so if this tenant ID in the tenant dictionary, which is acting as a virtual database. Okay, if tenant ID in subtenant, then delete. So delete subtenant tenant. Okay, so this is our dictionary, and of course this like we are indexing this ID. Okay, then of course you display this removed successful, else print the tenant ID not found. Again, this define a function to get a tenant. Again, I'm getting this tenant, I'm fetching this tenant from the dictionary self tenants dictionary using the tenant ID. So def get tenant return. So this is just return receive the tenant get tenant ID. Okay, then created another function to get all the tenants and list them. Okay, and you list them, you put them in a list. Okay, so of course it's not a Python list. This is a method to this is different from the Python list. Okay, so yes, define get all tenants. Okay, return list save the tenants dot value. Okay, yes, very simple. So I have this and I have this. Okay, so yeah, this is the main file. Okay, so inside this I import these two files in the main file. Okay, so first of all from tenant, so from this I'm importing this class. Okay, importing this class. Okay, which is the whole of this file. Okay, so from tenant import tenant, similarly from database import the database. Okay, so from this file or this module I'm importing the whole of this class. Okay, so then I'm defining a function to display it, and then I'm passing the database. So I'm passing this here as a parameter. Okay, so that I can utilize all these functions I created here. Okay, so define display tenants. Okay, so tenant, so I'm creating this variable. I'm creating a variable here called tenants. Go to database get all tenants. So realize this one I created somewhere. Okay, so this one is imported from this file, so it's imported here, this one. Okay, and of course we are indexing from the database.py, so that's why we have something like the database.get element. Okay, so I'm getting this function from this module. Okay, if tenants, and use the if statement if tenants. Okay, for tenants, so this for loop, and these are for loop to iterate through a tenant. Okay, so for tenant in tenants print, so display the tenant, so iterate to get this tenant. Okay, let's print no tenants found. Okay, so this one to display for displaying a tenant, so you iterate, you get the list, and of course still something is here. Okay, still here. Okay, then we create this add tenant. Again, add tenant, we still using the database this module, so tenant ID B. So this one create this variable, it will be taking the tenant ID. This variable will be taking the tenant name. This variable will be taking the age, this contact etc. Okay, and of course the rent amount will be converted to a float. Okay, because the input function actually takes in everything as a string, so I use this convert to, so I can put a command there. Sorry. Okay. Then we define a new variable called new tenant. The new tenant will be tenant. So we are calling this function, which is here, not a function. We are calling this class here. Okay, which had all this defined here. Okay. So new tenant will be tenant, tenant ID, name, age, contact, property address, rent amount. And then we add this new tenant to the database. So database would add add tenant. Okay, then we have this function here, edit tenant. Okay, this to edit, if you want to edit the tenant details. Okay, so again we will use the tenant ID. So we use tenant ID, so you get the tenant ID to identify the tenant, and then again if tenant, and then you can edit tenant.name equal to input this string format. Okay, then we have another function here to remove a tenant. Okay, so I'm moving from the database. So we use we use the tenant ID to fetch that tenant. Then in database to remove tenant, we had this, we created this inside this file. It is, so it's just somewhat of calling this function. Okay, the real functionality is handled by this statement here. So inside this we're just calling, kind of referencing it, calling it from this module. Okay, then div mark payment. Again we use the tenant ID, then we get the tenant ID database to get tenant. Okay, if tenant.mark payment, print mark as paid, else not found. Okay, then of course here we come to the entry point of this program. So the main function, you can see the entry point. So so we create an instance of this module, of this database module. So okay, because that's the core functionality of not really the core function, but like, you know, this is where we define most of our functions. Okay, so we create In C++, this we call it's like creating an object or an instance of a class. Okay, so just insert net this class here. Okay, then of course you come to the loop while true. Okay, so while true, so put all this while true. Okay, what this means that this while true so the while true statement, sorry, this means, so if you put something on, if you put a code block under this while true, it means so the code will execute until it turns to false. Okay, which means it will cater for this. So once this statement executed, I will automatically go to the next. Okay, these are like yeah. So here, input choice. Okay, so this one, just put this command maybe in C, maybe something like this. Okay, so choice equal to choose an option. So if choice 1, so if this was maybe C++, it would be case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, and of course maybe case 6 and default. Okay, so yeah, if the choice is 1, then you call this function. So if choice 1, can see choice 1 is add tenant, so this one will call this add tenant function. If just 2, it will be edit, so it will call the edit function. Choice 3 is remove tenant, so it will call the remove tenant. Choice 4 is display tenant, it will call the display function. Choice 5 is mark payment, it will call the mark payment function. And of course all of these are in the database .py file. Okay, so that's all. Then of course this is like called maybe this something like the end. This is the end point. Sorry, the end point of this file. Okay, so you can see if the name is main, then call this function. Okay, so you call this function. So Okay, so that's so we can just let's see how this program works. So let's come here. Don't worry about this file. You can delete this one and still get it. Okay, so let's use the command line. Use the command line here. Then I'll go to the project folder. Okay, so I'm the project. I'm on the path of the of this project folder. Okay, so this one I'll just run. I will run this file. Okay, want to run this file. Okay, these are. So it's management, tenant management. Okay, so this tenant management .py. Okay, so let's run this. You can see. So I have here. Okay. So for example, let's add a tenant ID. We give this tenant ID like maybe something like that. Name. Let's say age, it could be anything. Contact details, could be anything. Say something like that. Property address. Amount, can put anything like that. See, tenanting added successful. Okay, so let's view. Okay, there's something like this. Let's go to option 2. Let's say you want to edit. The. Let's just try to edit. So 2 and ID to edit. We had use ID 0013. Okay. Name. So let's just maintain and say want to edit to this age something like that. Contact, we change it. Okay, let's display that. Turn on the option 4. D house rent. So you can see so you can see okay. So something is not good here, so you can edit this. paste in the next. Let's remove. So the tenant ID removed successful. Now let's display with the tenants. No tenants found. Okay. So let's add a tenant. Let's add a tenant. Cool. Then let's go to option 5 and 5. Let's break. Okay, so that's how simple. So do this. The next video, so do this. Mark this. So in the next video we will create a GUI for this project and have a real database for the same. Okay, if you like this video and if maybe found this video helpful, you can just like and subscribe to my channel, guys. Okay, I will really appreciate. Thank you.